Good afternoon, everyone. It is Merry Monday, but let me tell you, for the past hour in between eating some lunch, which wasn't a big lunch, I have been, I know where I want to go, but you know when you want to find the things you want to do and you can't find anything. First of all, I've hunted for this for, I think, 30 minutes, and it was right under my eyes. So, as you know, we're working on this. I got a few of these flips and that done. I haven't come up with the cover yet. I got to think about that. I'm going to have to one day sit and just think about how I want to do the cover. But what I was thinking I'm going to do is I think this color and this style, this kind of vintagey from Ruby and Pearl, I'm going to do like 3 journals at one time so that like days like today where I'm going to work on ephemera, I can just put it in a box and then work through, and then other days we'll flip through the journal and play with it. Of course, I haven't done anything more to this. Normally this is just a tall slim journal. A new journal that I loved and I've been doing for just about a year is from it's called a flip-flop journal. This is one in blue that I got to finish. So this is my front. I have to still cover, as you can see. Blue is out of my comfort zone, and so I worked on it a bit. So you open it, this is basically it, and it flops out this way, and you have your first signature. I have to tighten this signature because I realized I did not tighten it tight enough. So I got my pages in it, and then you flip it over, and see, and then this one's nice and tight. Who knows why that one? And so again, it's got my pages in it. And then you flip it around this way, and it's got a third signature in it, right? So last Christmas I was going to do one, but not a tall, slim one, a shorter one. And I didn't get very far in it, so I thought, okay, since I'm using this color palette and this style at the same time, I'll pull it out. Now, by next week, I'll have all the papers in and I'll cover it up. So my first signature, okay, so there's kind of your front. My first signature is going to go here. Then my second signature will go here. And then my third signature will go here. So I've got some covering to do. And it's done with envelopes. So I figured since I'm in the same color palette and I'm printing the different Ruby and Pearl, and I already have some things, these are a little big for it, obviously. This wouldn't fit in there. But I've decided I might do one like this with a 3-ring where this will fit in nicely. And this might actually turn out to be a page. I don't know yet. But that's kind of, I thought I'd do these 3 different styles. Maybe even just a 4th one, just a regular one. And then because I thought somewhere I have, it's right here, but it's not, I have this one that I put together for envelopes. I don't know what my plan was with it, so I was wondering, oh, maybe I can redo it and come up with, so it's a thought. It's not there yet if I'm going to go for it. So like, for instance, you know, I've got some ephemera made here. So I thought, well, today I'm going to just make ephemera from different pieces. And then later we can flip them into the different style journals, depending on what they fit. This is just something I'm making to sell. It's going to have all different tags in it. As you can see, some tags are done, some not. Some journal cards. But again, that's done with the Ruby and Pearl, so some of that will be similar to that. So, because I want to get the hardcover and the sewn in before I do any more putting in here, and then we'll go in and do pockets and things like that. So I thought I'd work on I can't even talk, ephemera. So I'm just deciding which way I'm going to go. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a tag. I'm going to try to get back to doing video every day. I have some ideas right now. Before I was lost. I didn't know what to work on. So I pulled out, I'm going to do some different ways I've been learning how to do ephemera. Not always the straight, maybe a tag, who knows? We'll see what happens. I've got some different scraps Did I leave the right page? Because one of these pages I ripped to go here, but now I can't find it, of course, because I'm a dork like that. So just in case I don't have it, because that's going to cover that page because it's close to the same color theme. But I had a scrap piece and I had that. But in 2 seconds I lost it. So, but one of the things I might show you is I started doing something, something I learned, and this one would be too big, and of course and this one I didn't get it quite right, so I have to probably cut this up. But, and I thought I had some more of these. I do somewhere, but I'm going to do one with Christmas. I'll show you. I think they're right here. Yeah. This one I did with envelopes from Happy Mail, and I just covered it. And I'm going to turn, this is going to be my cover. Of course, I've got to kind of enforce this here, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I might cover the inside of this along here, because I might leave this as a tuck spot. So this is the envelope that I'm trying to turn into a cover. So it's not quite where I'm going. But I don't even now remember where I saw this, which is a shame. And sometimes you have scrap paper, and you can take, now some of these are really hard and I don't know, which is okay because it'll make it strong when I bind it, but I want to be able to get my needle through it too. So like this is a scrap piece of paper, and then this was a 1 page of a thing, and I just attached it. The same here. This was a couple scraps. I first glued the scrap to the scrap, and I think I did it, yeah, and then this is another scrap. I just gotta, of course, fix it up. And then, of course, this is a book page, and then the book page was kind of long, so I did a little flip so I can do a belly band. And then I showed this one, maybe not. So I'm gonna maybe try one of those right now first before we get, well, and it'll be a page. And of course I've got some book, as you can see, I had them piled together working on some of them, and then I didn't go any further. So I'm just seeing what I can pull out here maybe to use. We'll see. I'm going to definitely use these pieces, and I wanted a smaller book page, but maybe we'll go with the music page there. This is one of my problems I have right now in my thing. I start a project and it goes into a pile, and I really need to work on getting that more organized. So depending on the journal I'm doing will depend on how I maybe patch it up. So for instance, if I wanted to put this in the tall skinny, which now I've got all my pages in, I could have taken it and of course folded it like this, right, and then attached a small piece here. Or I could have folded it in half and had, or I can do this and then add a piece to the top and then collaged it up. So there's different ways you can do it. But since I have pages for that really in set, let's just look at this one. And this, again, I have to think about my size here. So this is perfect this way. But of course, it's not long enough. Now, technically, you'll want a shorter piece in there. So since this is almost perfect, I think I'm just going to leave that page as it is, because it's actually perfect to go in the journal. I mean, it's the perfect size. So there's my first page in this journal. I'm just going to stick it in here since now I have it. So here we go. Let's try this. Let's try, this is a little long, but that's okay because we can fix that up in 2 seconds. I didn't bring any scissors, no glue, no nothing. Like I said, today I feel very, oh, I'm everywhere. I need to spend a day cleaning, but I will do that probably Wednesday. I'll still probably do I didn't need that. What I wanted was, and this is one of the things I think I'm going to end up doing. So I'm going to put double the supplies, one over on this side, and I can't find my big scissors. I have been searching for them for a little bit now, and I know technically if they were a snake right now, they would bite me. Truly, truly, they would. I thought I had taken my big scissors to open the cat food because I washed the scissors I used for the cat food, and I forgot to bring it downstairs. And I was too lazy to run upstairs right away, which I still have to do because I got to put chicken snack together, and I have a load of laundry on. So I'm just looking at whereabouts I want to tear this. So I think I'll just tear it like this. There we go. Ooh. And my tummy is bothering me today. Well, it's because on the weekends I'm allowed a little bit of my fun. I had some chips and I had a little bit of chocolate. I had one of my favorite chocolate bars, a Jersey Milk. I think it's a Canadian chocolate bar. I don't think you can get it in the US. Yes, it's a Canada chocolate bar. It's been my favorite since a kid. I used to love when I got the little minis in my stocking. And so that was my splurge for the weekend, and some chips. And I hardly ate any candy, but I found a candy apple. Oh my goodness, it was so good too. The apple was so fresh and juicy in it. Okay, so we got that one in length. But the problem is, what I'm looking at is the width of my page here. So that would make it a little long. So these might not work perfectly. But then I had something here. Again, but sometimes you have to think, because I didn't cut this very straight. I don't know. Maybe I was feeling a little wobbly that day. Who knows? But still, I still. But this could become my page as well if I wanted to. And then I have this. And since this isn't coming together right away, let's work on some ephemera, and maybe I'll come across the paper that I need. So I'm just keeping this stuff here because I'm probably going to use it. And let's get making some ephemera. So one of the things that I do a lot, and that is, this is 2 pieces of paper, and I got to glue it a little bit better, but I left it that way, that it was printed on both sides, but I didn't print on the white side. So what I did is I glued it over. And 2 things I can do with this. Let's see if that's better. Give it a second to dry. I can do 2 things with this. One, it can become a flip on a page where I want to, I would probably flip it this way. Right? Put washi tape here and have a flip. It could become a journal card if I want it to. Things like that. I'm just looking to see what. I wished I had a page that it could. I think the reason I didn't put it in here is it's because it's a little too wide. So I can't flip it unless I trim it up some more. Which, it's not a bad idea. We could do that. So we don't really want to touch that. We'll leave that till later. So let's start making some ephemera, Christina. Stop being so scattered about. Woo! Okay, let's take this. Since this is sitting here, and this side, we'll even this up. Okay, Mr. Oh, there, told you. If it would have been a snake, it would have bit me. Oof. And now I lost my ruler again. Again, it's right here. I need to get a small colored ruler because I lose it in this. So I'm just going to take that off. I should have ripped it a little rougher, but And I'm not going to do, I'm leaving this rough, and I might even rough this up a bit and do some more stuff to it. I'm going to ink it up. Because we do, we're going to do it as well. We do our normal tags too. Let me grab a tag out. I have tags in here that I'm going to be covering up, and so we'll pull that out because we'll play with it too. And we better get a move on because we've done nothing but yip yatter and look for something. So I'm just going to ink this up a little bit because this is really vintagey. It can be a lot of fun versus like a nice white or crisp journal. I'm trying to think of what I have. I wanted to show kind of in Christmas what I meant by that. Oh. Oh. You hear me groaning because the pain for the past 2 days has been acting up. I think I might have this more vintagey. Oh, it wasn't a good idea. So that didn't work the way I thought. Never mind. There I go. My thoughts fluttering somewhere else. I'm a crazy woman. So this is going to be my actual base of my tag. And because you can either leave this blank or you could write on that depending on what you want to do. But I'm going to make this my bottom. What I'm going to do is I wanted this to look a little torn. And I'm going to do maybe a little bit of that at the top too. Sometimes I'll just leave it torn. Sometimes I'll like make a little, and I just kind of put a little glue and I glue it down if I glue it properly. I don't know why. I'm working on losing weight. There I go yawning. And it's hard because I got to cook Andre and Jacob regular meals. Gab is doing it with me, so when she has dinner with us, that's easy because then I'm doing it for 2 people. But when it's by myself, it's hard. Like tonight, I didn't know what to cook for dinner. If I take hamburger meat out, I can't have pasta. So it's kind of tricky. So, I've got a few images here. So I'm just playing around with some of the images I have sitting here. And I thought I had pulled some more images out. They might be sitting just inside this file folder. Yeah, let me pull those out. And I didn't know, because I was cooked sausages tonight. I don't really like sausages. I cook them because Jacob loves sausages. Loves them. So I'm just seeing, that's too big. Thinking of that, it's 2:30. His dad just left to go get him. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I have to play around with my images till I see something. If I wanted to do it this way, I could, but this is a great one to turn into a little pocket. Bloop, bloop, bloop. This one's kind of jumping out at me. It's kind of jumping out at me, so let's see what we can do with this. Okay, so we're just going to tear the top off because it's got a little white, because I don't know how to take the border off my printer, and it's driving me insane. I've been reading and reading up on it because when I print paper, it gives me a border, then makes all my pages shorter, and I want it the full page. And I'm not worrying about straightening that up or anything. I'm doing it as is. Perfect. Glue it. And I didn't bring my... I did not bring my glue book. You know when you have days that I got so much going on in my head, I can't seem, and it's hard balancing the YouTube, and because I'm new at this and my business, and I did some orders, and I got a lot, and I'm appreciate it all, but it's a lot of fussy cutting. And you know, I think that fussy cutting, oh, it's nothing, don't, but fussy cutting takes a long time, and I've got a lot of fussy cutting. And then of course one lady I did more of a custom order for, which I don't mind doing, don't get me wrong, I love doing custom orders. The only problem is, I'm going to throw a little washi tape on this, is I already had all of the digitals made for the fussy cut, so now I'm looking for different ones for her. And it was the same with her paper pack she ordered. She wanted them all light pink, pinks. One, she bought the pink I had, and then she wanted me, I only had one pink, but could I make 2 different pinks, so 3 different pink paper packs. Well, I had to go back to the drawing board and start all over again. So I'm just putting a little bit of different little things to embellish it with, adding a little bit here or there. I mean, a lot of times you don't even have to add much. It doesn't take much. And then I'm going to take, am I going to hole punch this one? And then on the back of this, sometimes when it's plain like this, I like to take a lined paper. I'm just seeing what I have in my scraps. And thank goodness my kitty decided to go sleep on the couch instead of on my box of scraps. Both my cats think the box of scraps I put there for them. Oh, I like that. I'm going to do it that way. So they lay on my scrap box. But Boo Boo, she, for some reason I couldn't get her to nap. She wanted to eat all day. All day. And I've been fighting with her to stop wanting food, because what she does, I don't mind if she comes up and lays on my desk. It limits what I can do sometimes in work. But you know, I don't mind. That's when sometimes I'll like search for digitals, for images, or I'll go into my somewhere I create in, but it's not really good. And work on something where I can have, because she sits in one arm, and so I have one arm free. So I see what I can do. Now here, I don't mind that it's kind of got a nice thickness to it, so I'm not worried about the hole punch with it. And but I'm almost thinking, if I had, and I didn't put any of it out, I'm almost thinking of doing a fold over top to it. Fold over. I don't know what to call it. Tab. I haven't got much red out right now. So I'm seeing out of these 2 things I have red, and I'm just trying to see what time we're at. We're at 23 minutes. Okay. Jacob will probably come home, and then he'll be like, because I won't get to his snack and have it ready for him. So if he comes through the door, if this didn't end by then, you'll hear him say, "Tia, where's my snack? These aren't big enough. Oh, poopy-doo. None of them are big enough." But I could also do this if I wanted to. Like I said, you can play around with it. I could put just that like that. I could glue that on. Let's see if I can tighten that. I do kind of like that idea, but I'm not sold on it. And what I have one in particular, it's actually from a packaging, and it's thick, wide red. I don't know if I have a piece of it in here. I won't put it on because I have to go looking through my red, but I'm just seeing if I have, I don't even have the idea here. I know exactly the ribbon I'm looking for. Exactly. I just don't have it here. Or, where's my red tool I got? Oh, I have. This might be too red. Might be too red. I bought this at the Dollar Tree. And this might be too red. Yeah, that won't work. And I thought I bought a red tool. I did. Could also do just a tool bowl. But I've got a few of those already done like that. I know exactly what I want. Exactly. I want a piece of red, thicker. I have one that's dark. I want to fold it over like a piece of material, like it's a ribbon, but it's fabric ribbon. And then I want to sew a button for my tab. That's what I want for that. I just don't have that ribbon available without pulling boxes upon boxes. So we'll finish that off later. Now, and even on the back, you can still add a little bit more to this if you want. Do I have another one of those cute little things? Yeah, I think I'll put that there. How much you want to decorate is totally up to you. You could put a stamp image here. Again, I didn't pull out my Christmas stamps. What I'm going to do is maybe one night sit and stamp up some Christmas things that I can tear and put on there. There we go. And I need to ink this up. But I think I want to take this a little bit further because that's just me. It's too basic for me. No, it's not. I don't want to use that word basic because people think it's not. I didn't mean it negative. It's just I'm always going way overboard because that's just me. I like to do that because I just can't help myself. I see these ladies make the journals, and I kind of I need to get journals up for sale, but I've got so many I got to complete. I don't know how these ladies do it so fast, but then I'm watching, and they don't. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I need to do that. I put too much in my journals, I think. And I guess it depends on the type of journal you want. Do you want a pretty journal that's just going to sit and people can look at the creativity of what you put in it? Or are you making a journal that they're actually going to journal in it and have spaces to journal? So there we go. There we go. And it's very simple, but I like it. And again, it can slide in a pocket. It could go into a sideways pocket. Sometimes that's why I don't put tabs, because this, maybe not so much in here, but this would fit nicely slid in a side one with a tab sticking out. So, and it would fit perfectly in a pocket in here if I wanted to do a side pocket. So sometimes I don't add my tabs because I never know if I'm going to put it in this way, if I'm going to put it in that way. So sometimes I don't do that just because it's easier that way. Another thing so where's this? So let's work on this one just because it's a regular tab. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm just looking in my scraps here. There's scraps and images, and I wished I would have kept the images separate from the scraps. But my workspace is small. So let's pull out some scraps here. Let's put the image here. Image, but I don't want to lose that. I guess that isn't scraps. I guess that is all images. Well, wouldn't you know it? I do have that we could put to the top. We have this that if we're going to do a real collage, we could collage with it. let's open it. I think I've got my bundle of scraps in here. Oh, there's that other page. See, I've got some scraps in here, what we can pull out and use. I do have that. I do have that. I know I had some scraps clipped together because I do that sometimes to keep it together in one spot. Yeah, there it is. To maybe try and make it easier for myself, but hey. Like this is a scrap because my ink ran out, so I'll just cut that off and I can use that in different ways and different, so I don't throw it out. You know what it is I don't have a lot of scraps in this yet because I haven't done a lot, so I'm searching and searching for scraps, which is crazy. So I might have to start making some scraps, which I hate doing because I have so many scraps, but not in this. I really don't. That's weird. I'm just going to put this to the back here. And this, not liking that one for this, and I want it kind of a long scrap, I think, but that's not got enough red in it for me. Hope I've got this in. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to print paper to rip and do scraps with, because I used a lot of my scraps here. And if all else, what you can do is, if you don't want to do a collage, and you can get a tag that's like some of these images you could use as well. This here is a tag in itself. So what you do with this, see, I tell you, ladies, and if there's any gentlemen watching me, I don't think I have any gentlemen that watch me yet. If you do, say hello so then I know. I would really appreciate the comments and likes, guys. I know I keep begging for them, but they are so important in YouTube. It really helps creative, not just me, anybody you're watching. And I learned that too. And now I try to comment on all videos, and especially like the video. Otherwise, they never get noticed. Sure, there are a lot of YouTubers, and there's some big names, and I love them all. But sometimes you're missing some of the small creators like me, because people aren't liking and commenting on their video. Even if it's just a heart, helps them. With the algorithm, I can never say it, so that their video gets noticed more on YouTube. And not for me right now, because I'm under 500 subscribers, so I don't make any money from YouTube right now. Maybe one day, we'll see. I would like to, because I'm trying to establish a business doing what I love as I deal with health issues and live with chronic pain. Just so that I can, somehow support myself. And the great thing is I can do that while I do something I love. I love. Junk journaling has been amazing for me. Really has. So there, I did a tag. Look at that, in 2 seconds. Just I saw that image and knew it would make a perfect tag. And now I'm just going to find something to cover the back of it, so I can count that one done. I have a lot here to use, but I've got a lot of pieces, so I don't want to start some new ones when I can use the pieces. This is a cardstock. I tried printing something and it didn't turn out, but instead of, oh, but that might be too light. Can you see through it? Nope, it's fine. It is fine. I didn't realize how much I say it's fine till Jacob. That's what he does. I'll tell him, Jacob, you need to turn the volume down. No, Tia, it's fine. Jacob, you got to do this. No, Tia, it's fine. And I was like, oh, where did he get that from? Now I know, because I say it. Because his parents speak to him. The reason I know it's me, because he goes to French school and his parents speak to him in French and I speak to him in English. So a lot of his English comes from me or YouTube. Lately he's been saying lemon squeezy all the time. Forget how the phrase goes at this moment, because that's the way my brain is. And he says that all the time, and his dad is like, where does he get this? And I say, I have so many sayings. And you know, it's funny when you go to think about them, it's hard to think about them because I've been just saying them so long. Oh, geez Louise. It's something I grew up hearing, and I say it, and one day Jacob was like, geez Louise, and I was like, oh, the English. He's learning a lot of English from Tia. So there you go. It's a tag in itself. You don't have to add anything to it. You could put a word sentiment if you wanted to. You could put some lace on it and go from there. What I do sometimes to cut my edges, I fold it over lightly as I can. And I want a kind of a big edge to it. And you can decide how much. And I just, because all those pieces went so well together, I didn't want to cut it up. It just worked the way it is. So there we go. Only I'm not going to worry about inking it because you guys all know how to ink it. So there's a tag, and then I just got to do the topper to it, which I'm not going to do right now. Maybe when you see me place them in, you'll see my decisions on what I do. So there's another one done. There we go. Now with these, I have this folded in half. And do I have a sample of that in here that I'm going to do? Now, this one I did it with blank paper. And I did it like on top, but I'm going to do it, I'll show you them. This is just a piece of paper I had. For instance, maybe I had something like this, but this is I think a scrap tie, so I just flipped it over and I made an ephemera like that. And the same here. And again, it needs a little glue. It needs a little glue. Always when I go to put things in, I miss corners, so then I just fix them. Easy peasy. But I'm going to do something like that, but a little bit different here. So I'm going to take this, and the first thing, I'm going to ink this one up. I've got 2 dabbers here now. Let's pull this out. You can make this, you could turn this easily into a scrapbook lid if you wanted to, but I'm not going to go to that extent with it. I'm just inking it up first. And this is what I need to do, is just spend time making ephemera, because sometimes I'm trying to do it as I make the journal. So what I'm going to do, I think for the next couple Mondays, is just make a lot of ephemera, and then we'll pull the journals out, and we'll start to put pockets and ephemera into its pockets as we go. But first I need to sew them together. Now you can do it as much inking you want on it. If you don't want any inking, you don't have to do that. So what I'm going to first off do in the middle here, that's not big enough. I was hoping I would just use that scrap up, and it's not big enough for that one either. Sometimes I try to do that. I'm just seeing what I have. I need to go back through my papers, and I could use a piece of this if I wanted to. I really like that for writing. I can. Sometimes if I want something different, it's good to use that. Let's use this. I think I'll tear this right down the... It's got bright purple on one side. I mean, I can use the bright purple as well in a journal too. Nope, I wanted this piece on the back of a tag if I want it to. Perfect. Actually, let's do this. Let's tear it first. And yes, I'm not making it all the way to the sides because I want it to kind of go in the middle of it. Oh, look at that. Almost could have, almost, but not quite. Sometimes I'll do that if I've got a piece sitting and I've got another little piece. Instead of throwing it in my pile of paper, I'll try to use it up right away. Trying to get this done so that I can get one, have to show one. But I mean, we're just going to be making ephemera, and hopefully next Monday, as I always say, I'll be more organized. You can only hope. You can only hope that I can get more organized. I'm just that way. I like to be more organized, and I keep trying to be more organized, and I keep failing. And again, if you want to add a little Christmas into it, you could throw a little image in it. I'm going to save and pull out my Christmas stencil, and I might stencil a little bit on this later. I just don't have my Christmas stencils out yet. Because, you know, it's not quite, you're not full-fledged into Christmas. So I kind of got it off to the side, which makes it difficult. So I've got to figure out how I can put my Christmas stuff. So when I come to do these, I can pull them out. And then... she's perfect there. Look at that. She was meant to go there. I do want to ink her up a little. Not a lot, just a little. Because she kind of blends in with the... and as you can see, I'm trying not to think too much of what I'm doing. I'm just trying to put it down. Yes, I'm going to use this paper to glue, because it's handy. Oop. Oop. There we go. Just going to check the time, guys, really quick. See where we're at. We're at 43, so we're still good. You know what it is we've had beautiful, beautiful weekends. And so in the winter, I get more weekends because, of course, now if you wanted to, you could have collaged up a little bit more. I'm also thinking this might make a cute tab. Could do that. Also, what you can do if you don't want a thick tab, you can use washi tape. And that's what I'm going to do on this one. I don't want it to stick out too far. Oh, I gotta glue it. I'm going to do a little washi tab on this. I don't think I've ever done this yet. Oh, my hands are just... I think it's because I had sugar on the weekend, so I'm kind of coming off the sugar. There. Yeah, I like that. See? And it's got a little tab, and it adds a little more to the thing. And then again, if you want to, like sometimes I embellish it more once I go in. I could put a little red. Oh, I kind of like that. So let's put a little piece of that. Not a big piece. It's not going to line the whole thing. Just put a little piece. As just the idea. So let's take this. This one's almost empty. You know what I need to start using is napkins. I have so many napkins, and I really do need to start using it. There we go. And there we go. And if you want, you could as well, either you make it another journaling spot, or, you know, like, or you just, like, I might just do this. I'm not going to do a lot because I want to show some of that music. So what I'm going to do, I'm not really inking this. I'm just doing this. And I don't know where I put my 2 pieces we already made. I'm doing a little bit better, guys, getting more done on this video. It could have been better if I wasn't so crazy. But crazy's good, crazy's good. Well, I was saying about the weekends. We're having such nice weekends that winter here is very long, especially up where I live in Canada because I'm in the mountains. So we get so much snow. It's beautiful, but I don't like the cold anymore. So I don't get to enjoy it as much. And I'm cheap. I don't want to pay the price it costs for a winter ski pants and winter ski coat. And I need to do that. Next year at the end of the season, I need to do that. Get myself ski pants and a ski coat so that I can go out and enjoy the winter more. I really need to. I used to love winter. When I was a kid, I would be tobogganing or skating, or even as a teenager, I added a little bit more to it, as you can see. So you can do as much or as little as you want to it. I don't really like that. And I want like a little tiny image, but I don't want any of the ones I have here. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, well, it does in my head. I know what I want, but I don't know if I have anything handy. I really need a drink. My mouth is really dry. And I was surprised this year. I got over my first cold, much faster than I normally do. And I don't know if that's to the fact that I am eating better. So that is helping my immune system. Because I got bronchitis, and usually for me, bronchitis will last 3 weeks to a month before it's fully gone. And it didn't for me. But then I really forced myself to rest. And that's how I fell behind in my orders, because I was exhausted. I spent the night coughing. So I want to kind of vintage up a bit, because it just looks too, there we go. And I was surprised. So like this weekend, Saturday, me, Jacob, and his mother went with a new friend from school for a walk. So we went to the farmer's market in town, but Andre forgot to get money because you have to have cash at the farmer's market. And so he went further downtown. It's like a square, and then up at the top they have the farmer's market up in the driveway. And they have like a waterfall. There's a biking path, and there's little restaurants. But one area, there's a fountain in a big area. So Jacob went over there and was running about. And there was bees, and there was this beautiful butterfly, which on my Facebook there's a picture. So there we go. It's just a cute little. And again, I could take just as an example, I don't know if I will do that in it, and I don't want it right now, but just as an example, I'll roughly cut this out. You could take and add a little sentiment. Well, now that I did that, and because there's not much red in it, you may even want to do a red sentiment or add a little red washi tape in there. Well, we got some, but I did say I was going to stamp, didn't I? I did say that. But I might put some snowflakes, so that's why I'm not going to add that. So you could do that. I'm going to be stamping snowflakes on this, I'm more than positive. So you could add a sentiment if you wanted to, but because this doesn't got a lot of red in it, that's why I'm going differently. So there you go. There's that done. I don't know where I put the other ones we got done. Now this here is actually a masterboard I did, and I've got a few pieces of it. So over the next few, I'm going to use up some of this masterboard to make tags. And you're seeing this long skinny one, and I like to use a lot of different shapes. One of the things that I learned from watching, oop, it went to the floor, so it's going to stay there for. Her name left my mind. I know it's there, but at 507 House Willow Road is mainly where I saw it, and I think I know other creators do it as well. And I don't have one handy. I thought I did. I was sure I did. I have a ton of book pages around. A ton. I was tripping over them earlier. They're behind me now because there wasn't enough room on my desk. I'll use this one. Even though it's best for the tall skinny, I'll use this one. First off, I'm going this way. Why am I going this way? For a reason. So, you can do two things. This is really thin paper, so, and I'm going to tear it where I'm not going to glue the whole thing. I'm going to tear it right here. And I think right here. I want that blank. Okay. See if we can start this. We might have to finish it next week. Again, when you go to glue it, you can fix that up. Now, because this is so thin, I'm thinking I'm going to do I'm just going to add a little extra in here because I'm not going to put paper on the back of that, if you know what I mean. So I want to make this side a little bit harder. I don't have to make the other side harder because I'm actually going to end up collaging on it. So it will be automatically become thicker. And I'm not worried if it doesn't join all the way up. I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to try to glue it a bit better there. And then we're going to glue. Because again, it might, oh, my foot's itchy. Ooh. So we went to the market. And then we went, Jacob wanted fajitas this weekend. So there's a grocery store, Super C, that does, I tore it a bit, but that doesn't matter. That tells you how fragile the paper is. And he wanted fajitas, and they have the chicken and the beef already cut up, so it saves a trip. So we went there. And where else did we went? One other place. Nope, that was it. Vegetables and Super C. And then we came home. And so by the time we got home, it was later in the afternoon. And so I did a little bit of, I forget what I was doing. I did something else. There, that's staying. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't want it like that. Oh, well. Selah. I didn't quite want it that way, but that's okay. I'm going to collage it anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not the straightest. But I'm going to tear it with my tear ruler. Unfortunately, it's too wet to get a good tear on it. So we'll finish this up next week. And I'll show you using book pages what you can do with the book pages. And then we'll have these that we're still going to get ready. So we'll finish this up next week because this will be a little bit harder. So I'll tear it a bit and I'll show you what I'm going to do with using a book page as my tag. All right. She's cute. Okay. Thank you for joining to me. Oh, and anyways, I'll finish telling my story. So what we'll do is cover this. So then Sunday, we do family day. So Gabrielle, me, and Jacob, we go to this market that we all love. We went to it, and then that always takes us a while. And then we went to Giant Tiger, which is a store here that Jacob's mother really, really loves. Really loves. Sometimes what I'll do if I'm using like a collage like this, and I can't, obviously I have a line there, I will sometimes just give myself a rough estimate, and I usually give myself a little extra room. If you understand, just in case somehow, some way, I goof it up. It's just me, because I know myself so well. So just till it's going to probably shut off, guys. So bye. Bye. Like how I said that. So bye. And so we spent the day out, and then I came home and I was so tired because my chronic pain has been acting up for the past few days. So I basically, for 3 o'clock, I think it was about 3:30 by the time we got home, and we had been out in the sunshine and walking, and we went to a couple stores and went to this outdoor market and looked at the dried up sunflowers and just played around outside. I was tired because I'm really suffering with the chronic pain right now. So, and I just realized there was white on the bottom of this, and I don't know if I made. And you might shut off before Jacob is home. And he's going to be, Tia, where's your snack? We've got 3 minutes, so we're not bad. I kind of timed my time with Jacob. So then I got up and I made fajitas. Well, Sunday we had a fire Saturday night. So we actually had dinner on the fire. I got hot dogs, and I cut up vegetables, and we had raw, like carrot sticks and cucumber sticks and that, and we had roasted hot dogs and carrots, vegetables, and then we roasted marshmallows because we don't have a lot of those days left. So I've been trying to get outside a bit before I have a good reason to stay in and never go out and craft all day. So I'm surprised he hasn't said anything to me. Tia. So I've already got that ready, and I'm not going to leave it like that. I might end up adding an image. I don't know if that image is too big. I don't think I have a smaller one here. No. And I kind of like that on there for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right on there. Easy peasy. And now I took away my paper. I'll just do this because I got to put something on the back. So that's what a lot of weekends I don't get. I didn't turn on my computer till almost 10 o'clock at night. Both Saturday and Sunday. That's okay. With winter coming, I'll have a lot of reason not to do anything but craft. There we go. And if you don't want to fold it over, like in this case I don't want to for this one, you can, how I do it, I know ladies have a card, and I keep saying I'm going to try doing that, and they put different, each corner has a different size, but I just usually cut flip it over and trim. There we go. Other than the back,